Hey everyone, it's Jody, and I just wanted to remind you that this is the last week of our November promotion. So if you haven't entered code NOV20 at the checkout yet, now is the time to do it. The ultimate confidence course for women will be closing for renovations, but we want you to kickstart 2021 with confidence. So we'd love for you to take advantage of this offer now before it runs out. Get an additional $100 off our course and coaching package. It's time to take your confidence to the next level. So go to risewomen.com and take the first step towards becoming the powerful, confident, and self-expressed woman you were born to be. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Secrets of Confident Women. For those of you new to the podcast today, my name is Jody Bruce Clark. I'm an author, a speaker, a confidence coach, and together with my business partner, Anastasia Adams, we run Rise Women, which is a business dedicated to helping women learn practical confidence techniques so that they can increase their confidence and do the amazing things they want to do in their lives. Now, we started this podcast at the end of June, and we've just been so incredibly thrilled with the response. We absolutely love creating these weekly episodes where we share our confidence tips and tricks, but also interview truly amazing, confident women who are pushing through fear and doing life their way. And today is no different, because today I'm going to introduce you to Melanie Warman, an incredible woman I met through a women's networking lunch that I was speaking at many, many years ago. And I was instantly drawn to Mel's positive energy. She then introduced herself as the founder of a successful running group in Sydney called Boobs on the Run, which is obviously a women's running group. And I thought the name was just so great that I had to learn more. Now, Mel and I have actually met up a few times over the years, which usually includes lunch and champagne. And I've heard so many stories from her about the women in her groups and the changes her programs make to their lives, not only from a fitness perspective, but also the changes that happen when these women start seeing and believing what they are really capable of. Her business, Boobs on the Run, was founded 7 years ago, which started as a shout out to women on a mum's Facebook group, and they've been going from strength to strength over the past 7 years, having over 3,000 women now go through their programs and join their community. And Mel is also a Lululemon brand ambassador. The business is built on connection, community, and confidence, my favorite topic. And I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome Mel to the podcast today. So, hello, Mel.
Hello, and thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited. You've been on our hit list for many months because we've obviously, as I said, Anastasia and I, we've met a few times. Anastasia and I have met you for catch-ups and lunch, but we knew we wanted to talk about sort of from the fitness perspective and how this sort of fitness and achieving in that area helps build women's confidence, but also just from the stories and things that we know of you and your business and what you've done there. We just knew you were a perfect fit to share with our listeners. So we're thrilled to have you here today. So welcome.
Thank you so much.
Now, do you want to start by telling, obviously I said a little bit about your business, but a little bit about yourself, your business, and maybe why you started the business?
So I've been a running coach for around, it'd be about 16 years now. I started that process in the UK because I moved to Australia 10 years ago.
Yep.
And when I had my son, I decided I didn't want to go back into the corporate world. I wanted to actually do something which meant more to me. So I had a conversation with my husband and said, can I have a go at this? Is it okay if I don't go back to work?
Yeah.
And he agreed, and here we are 7 years later with an amazing business that's actually helping so many women be able to do, be able to go out and run and make connections and have that part of a community that they feel part of.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes such a difference, doesn't it, to have that. You know, I've never been a runner, but if I have to run, I'd rather run with other inspiring women.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, running, it's a leveler. So whether you're a uni student, a stay-at-home mum, a CEO, running levels everyone. So we're all on exactly the same level. So you make some fantastic friends that you wouldn't necessarily have met in normal day-to-day life, which is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
The reason I started the business, so if you know anything about us, I actually lost my mum to breast cancer, and it will actually be the anniversary of her death on the 18th of November this year, because it'll be 13 years since she passed.
Yeah.
So she passed of breast cancer, but she was diagnosed really young at the age of 49 and died at 52. And as I eke ever closer to the 49 age bracket, it obviously, being active and being fit and keeping moving is really important to that journey.
Yeah.
And we raised much needed funds for breast cancer research in Australia. So hence Boobs on the Run.
Yes. I've seen all your stuff on Facebook and your promotion. Yeah, you do amazing work in that area.
Yeah. So we're trying to just get, my mission is just to try and get as many women moving as possible.
Yeah.
And whether they continue, just running, or whether they go on to do ultras or triathlon or wherever they want to go in that journey, we're here to support them.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I didn't know that part of your story, to be honest. So we've obviously always caught up and talked business and other stuff. But that's really interesting, because my mother died when she was 52, and she had a brain tumor over many years. She was diagnosed when I was sort of 15 years of age. But it's interesting. I've just sort of really got back into, focused on my health and fitness, and I've always been eating okay and whatever, but knew I had to start building muscle, and it is because I'm approaching that same age group. It's like this sort of light bulb moment where you go, God, I mean, I knew she was so young, as your mother would have been really at 52. But now you become that age. It's like, oh yeah, I'm way too I'm way too young to feel this tired or feel this lack of strength or feel this unfit. And it does sort of kick you back into getting really focused on making sure you're strong physically and mentally, and having that really looking after yourself part of your life, or taking that to the next level maybe,
Yeah, absolutely. And our focus is also on making sure that, our women look after themselves. So it's not just about running, it's about making sure that they understand their bodies. So it's a very holistic approach that we have. So it's mind, body and spirit that we're trying to look after. Running is probably just the end result. It's everything else along the journey that really kind of builds them into these amazing women.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why it's just, I've watched you over the years and since we met, which must have been quite early in your journey actually, because it was quite a few years ago. I think that
it was.
We did that lunch, I was speaking at that lunch. So watching you and watching this grow, and obviously the connections we've made before, and knowing what difference it is you've made to the business. It is so much more than just a running club. It is, really dedicated yourself to making this community and making it so much more. So it's really inspiring to watch. So what does confidence, because obviously this is the confidence podcast, what does confidence or being a confident woman mean to you?
I think it means so many things, but just a few are achievement, drive, self-esteem, and being valuing your time and others, being empowered and empowering others gives you real confidence as well.
Absolutely.
So, all those things, and I don't know, just being true to your values, I think is really important, because once you're living in that, confidence is there.
Yeah, absolutely. I know and it is so many things. Confidence is just this foundational thing, as we talk about all the time. But having that that sense of valuing yourself, valuing your time. That's a really great piece to the puzzle, because that is that, especially as women, our time gets seemingly taken so often. And sometimes I say to clients, but who's running your diary? And they're like, oh yeah, me, I am. I keep saying yes to things. It's like, yeah, I know. But, what if you valued your time like you value, money or, those sorts of things. So, but it is having that value on ourselves and our worth helps us to really balance all those different things in life.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's like really important that, everyone in your family also understands, or family and friend unit understand that your time is precious, and if you're giving it to someone else, it's don't throw it away. It's really precious. So
yeah, absolutely. And when are you the most confident version of yourself, Mel?
So I'm a really huge connector. I love connecting myself to others, and I love connecting others to each other.
Yes.
So I always that's probably where I feel my most confident.
Yeah.
I've never really been. I guess I've not been an athlete or anything like that in terms of my running, but I'm a recreational runner and I'm a running coach,
yes.
And I do value what I give to others. But I've never been competitive. I guess what I'm trying to say in terms of my running.
Yeah.
So if I have someone else who's amazing, comes into our group and is amazing at running, and kicking all the goals that they want to kick, and being competitive with themselves, I love that. It's just really amazing.
Yeah.
So for me, it's about kind of just always giving back and giving what I can.
Yeah. And you do so much, absolutely. And as I said, which is testament to, obviously how much the business has grown and the 3,000 women who have been through your programs. But I obviously know of you separately that I know you also are a connector in women running small business in your area, for them to kick goals and support.
Especially this year with obviously COVID hitting, and a lot of small businesses haven't survived, unfortunately.
No.
So it's about supporting our local community, as well as the female entrepreneurs out there as well. So.
Yeah, awesome. You do amazing work. So how has working on your own fitness and starting this business really helped you to improve your own levels of confidence?
I guess learning what your body and mind are capable of are great tools.
Yes.
And that's an evolving thing. It's constantly, okay, I can do this, I can do this. I don't always get it right, but I think that's how we learn and adapt and move forward as well.
Yeah.
I've learned to trust my gut instinct. Before I'd question myself quite a lot, but now I really do. I trust that instinct and I follow through on it. And being able to have difficult conversations or critical conversations is a really important part of building confidence as well. If you need to do something, you need to do it.
Yeah.
There's no point sitting on your laurels and waiting for something else to happen.
No.
That's a big thing I think I've learned in the last 12 months, that, if I want the most out of myself and my community and my business, I need to make tough decisions.
Yeah, sometimes you have to have that conversation, and it is that confidence in ourselves, and again that value that you were talking about, that sort of push us to actually have those conversations, because we do value our time, we do value our business, we do value who we have around us, and sometimes it's not always a good fit at certain times. So it is important to have, when you value yourself and know that what you're doing is important, that means you have to sometimes take on those tough conversations and make sure who you've got around you or the direction you're going is still working for you. Yeah.
And understanding where you're going is really important. So having some kind of strategy in place where you're, okay, I know where I'm going to be in 12 months, but where am I going to be in 5 years?
Yeah.
And it's also, and then saying, okay, does everything that I have now fit in with that strategy moving ahead?
Yeah.
So, and remembering if it is your business you're running, it's your business.
Yes.
No one else can tell you or demand of you what you can and cannot do.
No. Absolutely.
Within reason, obviously,
yes.
and within rules and regulations.
Yeah,
clearly.
Of course, yes. And when the kids need dinner, they need dinner. Unfortunately, that's where I always get.
Yes.
It's like, oh, the day is ending now. Okay, my work day is ending for this moment in time because children need to be fed. But yes, okay. And so we know that fitness and movement and a sense of achievement are all excellent tools for keeping our confidence levels high. So how do you see that evolve with the women who start a running program with you?
So we have 10-week programs. So we teach from complete beginners to wherever women want to go in their running journey.
Yeah.
And usually when they're coming in, some have stalked us for about 12 months before they even sign up.
Yeah.
But you
going, should I, shouldn't I? Yeah.
Yeah. And then, they tell us this after they've signed up and said, oh, I should have done this like a year ago. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But the first week, they're like rabbits in the headlights, and they're going, oh crap, what have I done?
What the hell? Yeah.
Why have I done this? Oh no. But as soon as they start getting into their smaller community, so our groups, and with their run leaders who build rapport with them as well, they build an immediate connection with these ladies. They start chatting together. They start doing their homework runs together. They're being accountable to people who 2 weeks ago were complete strangers.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We also include a lot of, running is 95% mindset, 5% body.
Right.
So we include a lot of mindset things. So I know one of your favorite ones, the power pose before you go out to talk.
I do.
But we also use things like music, which is a great motivator.
Yeah.
So we get people to choose a power song that they listen to before they go running. So it really empowers them and gets them going. And it's like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah.
We use positive mantras.
Yes.
So it's about acknowledging that voice inside your head, that little mean girl we all have.
Yes.
That says,
I talk about her all the time with clients, with everybody actually. Even with my daughter, I'm like, it's there. We've all got her.
Yeah. One of my runners, I got her to name her mean girl because her mean girl would turn up at 3 o'clock in the morning and keep her wide awake.
Yes.
So her mean girl is called Frida, and Frida's told to F off quite often.
Yes, fabulous. I know. Oh God, I get the 3 a.m. thing too. Going, oh my goodness, be quiet. Like, just let me sleep. But yeah, it's those quiet times when the world looks very scary. At 3 a.m. that you need to have that real mind control. And, as you said, it's also like for the confidence levels changing for the women in your group, like that, the accountability is amazing. And that's always something that really helps us move into action with our goals and move forward. But also I heard you say around just being around those positive go-getter women with a common goal, which is learning to run or building their fitness or those sorts of things. Like that starting to be around those types of groups, especially because I know a lot of the women that, join your groups have sometimes been mothers, that have had children and sort of getting back into fitness or going back to work or those sorts of things, to start creating a separate community or a separate group of women that are all positive and ready to run and wanting to achieve, and being that is just invaluable for our confidence.
Absolutely. And it's amazing to watch the self-esteem grow from week 1 to week 10. So week 1 is that they're running for a minute and they do that 10 times. And then week 10, they're running for 30 minutes. And at week 1, they don't think they can do it.
No.
But it's amazing seeing that achievement
yes.
at week 10. And they're celebrating
Yeah.
their win, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Which is something we encourage as well, because a lot of the time we don't actually celebrate our wins.
No.
We just go, oh yeah, I've just done that.
Yes.
It's like, no, you've really, this is awesome.
You got to really focus on it, to pay attention, to remember those moments and bring them into the forefront and be proud of yourself. Like, that's where this confidence also comes from. Just being proud that you put your mind to something and achieved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, having those people, that accountability factor is having those people around you must be so powerful. So these groups are just these little hubs that there is that accountability that just goes, oh, I don't want to do it today, but, I said I would, so I will.
Yeah. You got to turn up at 6 a.m. even if it's raining.
Yes.
We run rain or shine.
Oh, yes. Good. No, but it is. And it really feeds into what you were saying about that mindset thing as well, because you've got to have those people around you, but also that sense of achievement where it's small steps, which is what we talk about all the time. Like, you start off small. Don't look at the big end goal, when it seems too big and too scary. Just take that first step. What can I do today? What can I do tomorrow? What can I do the next day? And before you know it, it does start to build. But that's where that momentum in your confidence also does come from. Going, I achieved that today. I achieved that the day before. I can build and build and build on it to achieve these bigger, seemingly, unachievable goals that do happen for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, that's why our programs build week on week as well, because we try and do the hardest run together as a group, and then they get a couple of homework runs.
Yeah.
So it's all about showing them that they can do this.
Yeah, yeah. And that must just change in all areas of their life. It just sort of starts once they, like I was saying in the intro, I've heard from you before, they start achieving they start achieving running for 3 minutes or running for 4 minutes or running for 5 minutes. But then that starts to go into other areas of their life, right? Because they just start getting that sense of belief in themselves and that confidence that if they do set a goal, they can achieve it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, over the weeks, we often get feedback as I'm sleeping better, I feel better, I'm interacting much easier with my family, I'm not so stressed. We have over the years had a lot of women come through different processes, and they've come to running for so many different things. We had a lady in a DV situation,
right?
For instance, who had never driven around Sydney, but decided she needed to get in the car and drive and come to the sessions, and she's got herself out of that situation, which is awesome. Just as I say, building that ability to see that they can do these things does absolutely replicate in other parts of their lives, because confidence is confidence wherever it's gained.
That's right. And it's those small steps in one area, and building your confidence in one area does help you build confidence in other areas, because it's just, you get that belief in yourself to go, you know what, possibly I can achieve these other things, as you say, leave a domestic violence situation or drive to the other side of Sydney, or do those sorts of those things that some of us take for granted. But when there's fear there, and when that's maybe they haven't done it for so long, sometimes it's other areas of your life that you start achieving in, which transcends over to the area which might seem harder or bigger or a more challenging goal to reach.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's an individual. They come in all with very, very different goals. Some just want to learn to move. Some want company.
Yes.
Some want to get away from their family.
Yes.
and most of the women have, they've either lost themselves in their families, so they've become just a mush in the family, not an individual.
Yeah. You're a cook, and you're a cleaner, and you're
you're taking all the mental load.
Yes.
And then you've got others who are, work focused, but that's very stressful. Or you've got a mixture of both. I actually had one lady who came into one of our groups, and she at the beginning, she said, "Oh, I feel like my family are running away from me." So she'd sit on
Wow.
the sidelines of the soccer field every week, watching her kids play soccer, while her husband ran around the field every week. And she's 7 years on. Her youngest was 7 years old,
Yes.
and she just felt like she hadn't achieved anything.
Wow.
Just giving her that little something back where she
Yeah.
can actually now go and run around with the kids, and possibly not go running with her husband. I wouldn't ever recommend that.
No.
But it's just given her a leaf back on. I can do these things.
Yeah.
I can get up. I can move. I
Yeah.
can be part of this, and my kids can then see me doing this as well.
Yeah. Oh, it goes into so many different areas of, as you say, they're all individuals, but you just don't know what, even this one achievement of, being able to run 30 minutes by the end of the 10 weeks, you probably, don't know really what impact that has as on a bigger scale for all these women. So it's really amazing and fabulous. And it's really these tools, again, it's just like we can use running, or we can use these steps of sense of achievement to build our confidence to really just take off in other areas, and that's why I really wanted to interview you and communicate this, because it is sometimes, I don't want to go to the gym, but it's like sometimes going and achieving something and doing that will actually help in so many different areas of your life. It's not just that one goal.
Yeah, eat better, sleep better, feel better.
Yeah.
It's, as I say, it's a very holistic approach, and doing one thing kind of is a catalyst for others.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Now, I love your story about going to the Lululemon Ambassador Retreat that you told me last time we got together. And, I wanted to talk about that because it was so inspiring, and how you went, you're a Lululemon, clothing brand ambassador. They invited you to a retreat at a very, very fancy hotel out the back of Sydney. And I remember you saying that you really did not feel like you fitted in. So tell us about, but you got over that, right? The imposter syndrome came to the forefront. But tell us about what you did to overcome that imposter syndrome feeling, and, what that was for you.
Yep. So I'll just give everyone a bit of background. So
yep.
I'm actually in my second year of being a Lululemon ambassador, and we usually get a 2-year tenure. Their focus is not just on yoga; it's on running as well, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And they invited all the run ambassadors to go to the Walgam Valley. So it's an amazing area of Australia, and beautiful, and kangaroos and wombats and all that. And all these amazing people turned up, and I was actually traveling in a car with 6'6" boys, and I was just little old me. It was just like, all these, and we arrived, and there's all these beautiful people, and I'm going, why have they invited me?
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
So that was at the very beginning of the, the 3-day stay.
Yeah.
Anyway, and in the car we had the amazing Steve Solomon, who's a 400-meter Olympian.
Right.
And a very amazing guy at what he does, but also completely down to earth as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But we had to drive there, so it took around 2.5 hours. So we had time to kind of talk amongst each other.
Yes.
Anyway, the first morning they had Samantha Gash, who is just an amazing runner. She's done a lot of continent running, and anyone in the running scene will fangirl over Sam.
Right.
She's amazing, as I did.
Yes.
So they decided that we were all going to go out on this 14-kilometer run, which I was like, yeah, awesome, get to chat to other people. So we all gathered really at Sparrow's Fart to go running, and they all set off, and they all set off at such a immense speed.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm like, I'm not even warm yet. I'm like, it's like, And
It was all a bit.
don't know
It was
what
like,
was
oh,
going on.
we've got to get out the front and it look like
I don't know if there was a bit of ego going
Yes,
on
I'm
because,
sure.
a mixture of male and female
Yeah.
runners there. But I'm like, okay, I'm not going to push myself because I need to warm up first before I get into my run.
Yes.
I'm going to do the right thing for me. And at this point, well, I think we were about 2 kilometers in and they were at least half a kilometer in front of me. And I had this absolute moment of, I stopped, I looked back and I went, okay, it's going to be easier to run back than try and catch up with them. It's like, but it's 2K back and it's like they're only half a K in front of me. So,
Yeah.
but I had this real sense of, oh, I can't do this.
Right.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I trying to achieve here?
Yeah.
I don't belong here. I'm not as good
Oh,
as everyone else.
Yes. God, this comes up for so many of us all the time.
But in that moment, I actually practice what I preach. So I use my positive mantra, which is you can achieve what you imagine.
Yes.
And I
Love
imagine
it.
myself being with that group and having the best run. And luckily enough for me, they had stopped 500 meters ahead at a lookout. So I managed to catch up a hill.
Awesome.
And I think Sam had actually noticed that I was lagging a little bit behind.
Yeah.
And at that point, the amazing Jackie Bell, who is an ultra runner, and I had never met her before, I didn't know who she was, but she just kind of stayed by my side, and we just chatted the whole way, and people just kept coming and talking to me, and it was great. It was for me. It's like, okay, I've overcome this by using something that we're teaching our ladies to do. So so that was really, really, it was good. It was good for me to kind of go, okay, I'm having all these thoughts.
Yes.
I'm going to acknowledge these thoughts, and then I'm going to say, I can do this.
Yeah.
I am going to do it.
Absolutely. And we talk, imposter syndrome just comes up so often. It's invades whether you're in corporate, a business, a mother, it's everywhere. But, I always talk about it's not the fact that you have those thoughts. There's no problem that there's nothing wrong with you that you have those thoughts. We all have them at different times when we feel like out of our depth or, change of environment or different people around us. It's what you do at that point, and whether you retreat and just, it's like a question. I don't belong, do you really belong here? And then, the answer is sort of, well, yes, I do, rather than, sometimes that little mean girl, as you say, in our heads can sometimes go, no, you're not supposed to be here. Who do you think you are? But not letting her take over the conversation. And it's having those skills like what you've used, a positive mantra and those sorts of things. It's having those techniques that you can build into your life right at that moment when you need it. And you obviously knew what your positive mantra was, and it's ready to go as soon as you needed it.
Yeah. And actually, I don't know if you've heard of Charlie Dark, but he's a ambassador for Lululemon as well. But he started the Run Them crew in the UK, massive crew that run in London.
Right.
And his parting words to me were, "You don't need to try so hard; people will come to you."
Oh,
and
wow!
It's so true.
Yes,
it's so true.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened, isn't it? You sort of just stayed in your lane, stayed at your pace, stayed who you were, and people came back. People came to you.
But it's not just the running part. I think it resonated with me on so many levels.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. But it's that sort of staying. When I say stay in your lane, I mean that like stay in your lane about what you're doing in life. That's that. Yeah. We bring that into some of our courses around just stop looking around when it comes to comparison syndrome and all these sorts of things. Yeah. Just stay in your lane, and do what you know to do, and keep focused on your own goals, and you're not comparing or trying to keep up with the competitor or keep up with someone else that you're looking over to. That really helps to sort of keep imposter syndrome and those comparison things at bay a little bit as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what a great statement to learn. Now, we know, look,
Yeah.
that we know there are many obstacles and challenges in business, some of what you've talked about, but what is something that you do that you know benefits keeping your confidence levels high?
I absolutely, is actually just what you've just said. I stay within my vision.
Right.
I
Yeah,
I
great.
trust my gut instinct,
Yeah.
and I'm still learning. I'm not perfect at it.
Oh, I think it's an
I still
ongoing
take, yeah,
learning thing.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's all about building and building and building, and
Yeah.
you get more comfortable
Yes.
with being confident as well.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like being competently competent at
Yes.
something.
Yes. I love that.
Um, but yeah, it's staying within my belief system, staying within my vision,
Yeah.
believing what I am doing is is my mission,
Yeah.
and getting these women moving.
Yeah.
And I will do anything I can to ensure that my members benefit
Yeah.
from everything that they do through Boots on the Run.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And you do, I can see that again in the vision and in what you've produced in the business. But it is that just keeping focused on what you're up to, because nobody's you, nobody has your vision, nobody has the dreams that you want to make. So there's really no comparison to anyone else, is there? There's just keeping, as we say, in your lane and keeping focused. But as you say also, that once you start to really trust that gut instinct, that really is a real foundation of confidence, of belief in yourself, and trusting that you know what the next move is, what to do, how to stay on the path to that vision.
Yeah, absolutely. As I say, strategy and understanding where you're going is really important.
Yeah.
If you're and often saying things out loud.
Yes.
So earlier this year, our plan was to open in Melbourne in October this year.
Yes.
Obviously, that didn't happen due to COVID.
Oh my goodness.
but I'd said it out loud at that point. It's like, okay, we've got to do it. And it's about, okay, this is where we want to go.
Yeah.
And Melbourne will be coming to you next.
Awesome. Well, I hope there's some people listening that will come on and help you create that dream.
Yeah. Yeah. Our hope is by 2025 to be across Australia.
Yes.
And have these programs available to any woman that wants to take part.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sure that you're going to smash that without a doubt. You're on your way there. Now, look, we all have experience, we all experience negative thinking and self-doubt at times. So how do you manage those moments when you start to sort of go on that little bit of a spiral down? What tools or what techniques do you use to sort of bring yourself back up again?
So it's having focus for me.
Yeah.
I'm a typical Virgo. I used to be a project manager.
Right.
So process for me is really, really good.
Yeah.
Running for me is actually my kind of building my list kind of time.
Right.
Some people do it in the shower.
Yep.
But I think having a focus on what you need to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes important things aren't business things. Sometimes important things are family things.
Absolutely.
Or homes, as we call them in our family.
Yeah.
But it's if I need to go and have my hair cut, it will bother me until I go and get it done.
Right. Yes.
So it's about managing your time effectively as well.
Yeah.
And being kind to yourself, because sometimes we can't do everything.
No, most times we can't do it.
Yeah.
I rarely get through my to-do list, but it's as you say, that focus and keeping on that you are making progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, and so it's the same thing in running. So we add stress by running, we rest, and that equals progress.
Yes.
You cannot progress until you do both of those things.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Oh, so good. So many valuable points. But thank you for that. And I want to now I'm going to finish on we ask every interviewee our final Rise Power questions, which is sort of short, quick answers, if you're ready for those. What do you wish every woman knew?
that they can do hard things.
Oh, they can so do hard things. Isn't that great? And they can do so much more than what we first expect, don't you think? We have to take off these limits that we sometimes have put there, that's or been conditioned to really see the potential and what's possible.
And that's the thing, especially with the female, the women out there. We're often shown that we've got to be something. So a runner is only ever tall and with long legs and svelte.
Yes.
Where those things don't define you as a runner.
No.
It doesn't matter whether you've got big boobs, small boobs, tall, short, short hair. None of those things define you as a runner.
No.
Putting one foot in front of the other is running.
Yes.
You're a runner.
You're a runner. I know. I love that. Yeah, because we get this stereotype too, isn't it? This stereotype can help us think, oh, well, I don't fit into that. I don't look like that, or I don't behave like that. So then therefore I'm not. But that's just not true either,
No. And I'm a great believer that running is for everybody.
Yes.
Not everybody, everybody. It doesn't matter what your body type is.
Yeah.
You can do this.
You can do it. Yeah. And what is your superpower, Miss Mel?
So I often say so I always say to my runners that they have superpowers, and so I would say that my superpower is to show them that they have superpowers and how they can harness them and use them.
You're the mirror. You're the reflector.
Yeah, I'm just kind of showing, trying to teach them how to be the best leaders they can be as well.
Yeah.
And that then empowers them further within their own lives as well.
Absolutely. Awesome. Now, I'd be interesting to hear what your answer is for this one. I mean, we say heels or flats, but I'm wondering whether for you I should say heels, flats, or running shoes.
A bit of everything.
Oh, so, good. Yes.
Yeah, so flats mostly, running shoes often.
Yes.
And, pair of heels on a night out always.
Yes.
I do still have some beautiful shoes in boxes in my cupboard.
Yeah. So you're choosing what's appropriate for the time.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
For the day.
I couldn't run in heels.
No,
that would kill
of course
me,
no. And probably shouldn't. There's I'm sure there's a lot of health and safety things about that one.
Yeah.
What's your favorite quote or rule to live by?
So it's my positive mantra, which is you can achieve what you imagine.
Yes.
You can imagine yourself doing it, you can do it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And that's worked for you a lot of times by the sounds of it.
It has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who inspires you and why?
So most of my mum.
Yes.
I didn't really go into detail about how. So when she was diagnosed at 49, she actually went through the process of having a full mastectomy and chemo and radio. And during that time, she actually raised over $70,000.
Wow.
Equivalent. It was in the UK.
Yeah.
For the local oncology ward, so they could have a lounge with a TV and all those kind of things.
Amazing.
So she was always a bit of a go-getter.
Yeah.
My mum did so many different jobs. It's unbelievable. Jack of all trades, master of none. She used to drive trucks. She used to test drive cars.
Oh, wow.
She did all sorts of weird and wacky things anyway, but she was never out of work. And I just kind of, her work ethic really, that's kind of something that stood with me. So my mum, but I'd also say that my run leaders really, really inspire me because they show me what we can achieve together collectively. So, and at the end of the day, they as well as me are the people on the ground who are spreading this message and mission.
Yeah. I know, and I went onto your website before our interview today, and there's lots of them. There's lots of run leaders on there. It's a big team now. I was really like, wow, it's great going such.
That's just half of them on there. We're still need to do a new photo shoot. So
wow.
We've got 27 run leaders now.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's so great. All right, last question. Finish this sentence. If I had even more confidence than I do now, I would.
Do more videos of myself.
Oh,
I keep getting prodded by my marketing team going, you do know you need to do more videos of yourself. Like,
I
yes,
know.
I know.
We do the same. We've got the same.
So,
I try so hard, but yes.
And obviously give back more to my community as well. On a more meaningful note.
Yeah. Oh, you do so much. And it's such, I think, as I said before, what the intention of the business then creates as the follow-on, some of which you probably never see. You can just tell it's far-reaching and makes just such an incredible change to the women in your organisation and the women in your groups. And, it has such a big knock-on effect that, changes the lives of those people around them as well. So thank you so much for being on the podcast. Your story is truly inspiring. I think you're a highly, highly inspirational, confident woman that I really admire. And I think your business is just something that we all would look to go, wow, look what she's created here. So, and as I said as well, just what you're doing out there, the mission and your dream of what you're impacting women around Sydney at this moment, but soon the world.
Yeah. Well, I'm always going to start big.
Yes, always go. But thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Jodie.
And thank you to everyone for listening today. And remember, there are so many ways that we can help you become the confident woman you've always wanted to be. So please get in touch with us or visit risewomen.com. We want to ensure that confidence is every woman's new normal. And we do that by getting our programs and resources out to as many women as possible. Thank you for being here and thank you for listening. And until next time, remember, with confidence, anything is possible. Bye for now.